Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Welcome to the Dave's Lives show. We've got a few things to talk about today. Wouldn't you like to know, what's going on with Dave's channel? It's by the seat of your pants is all I can say, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, by the seat of your pants. By the seat of your pants. We'll come on in to Dave's channel, complete with purple sunglasses. But anyway, no one's here yet, nearly a minute. That's okay. That's all right. People come, people go. I'm hoping that there'll be lots of people that rock on, rock in, rock out. Rock in, rock out. Hey, rock in, rock out. We've got Elite. Elite, how you going? It's good to see you. Got some news, got an update. Gotta frickin' do it right. Mate, Tony, Mr. David, Tony, the doctor, has said it's okay. Sorry, the specialist has said it's okay to ride over East. But the GP has said, no, I need you for a spirometry test and a cardiogram. Is that what they do? A cardiogram? So the doctor's not happy, but the specialist is. What do you do? So apparently that's what's going on. Anyway, I've invited my mother. I've invited my mother to join me on my live before she tucks into bed, just to leave a comment, say hello to you all, and take notes at who's rubbishing Dave, her son. G'day, everyone. It's good that you're here. 2 people in the chat. That's okay. We won't get any more than that. Then bang, another person joins in. Hello, third person. How are you? So yeah, it's time to see the bike fabricators about a clamp system for the oxygen bottle that has to go on the motorcycle. So that's what was said today at the offices with the doctor. God, it's a damn thing I vape. I mean, essentially all I'm having is moisture. It's a vape. It's a vapor. It's moisture. So there you go. It's moisture. So essentially it's a moist air is what a vape is. Anyway, that, folks, was very, very nice. Now, as per usual, we're back on the double jack. We're going to slowly get drunk in front of the live, which is, Dave's channel specialty. It's the 5-hour-long episode. But the lives are going to change. I've got to encourage more people to come on my lives through StreamYard. I've got to download the StreamYard. We've got OC. I've got to get OC, Elite, Tony, and myself all on the 4 screens, all waxing lyrically and learning the lines for the new Barbershop Quartet song. This is it. Da-da, that's all. That's life. That's what we'll sing, I think, in a Barbershop Quartet. That's life. I think it's fucking apt. Anyway, we'll sing That's Life. G'day, the 9 people who've joined me. You're more than welcome to, hit the doobly doob, give the channel a bit of love and hit the like. It's good to see you all back here at Dave's channel doing a live. So what am I thinking about? What am I doing? Quite a lot, really. So went to the motorcycle shop. Waited, seems like an eternity, but anyway, it wasn't. I was out of there 8:30 till 1:30. Anyway, the motorcycle mechanic who worked on the bike came out and said, "That's a well looked after motorcycle." Given the amount of kilometres on that bike, that is a well looked after motorcycle. So that's actually what's the right word here that I'm looking for? Ego. I did the right thing. I left the fucking thing alone mechanically and just paid for someone, because when I start fucking with it, my bikes mechanically, they deteriorate. From the $60,000 showroom special that everyone went ooh to taken away on a trailer to a wreckers. So okay, so sorry, Frederick, I was off on my own tangent there a little bit. Frederick, and where are you from, Frederick? Frederick, 15 viewers, my gosh, run DMB. There's a place, well, I used to take them to the Perth Harley-Davidson dealership, but look, there's some competition now, and Peter Stevens Motorcycle Group has got into the motorcycle Harley thing, and Paddy Lee. Okay, everybody, welcome my dear mother. My dear mother is in the chat. She is here. Tony, we'll talk about bikes in a minute when Mum goes to bed. Yes, it's pricey, but if the bike stuffs up, OC, they've got, I have as the consumer, have got a sort of guarantee. I have a receipt that they touched the bike, they did the work, you've done something wrong. So the onus is back on them to make sure that they do the work thoroughly and well. I was lucky enough to see how the shop was operating, and there were lots of Zoom meetings from America, either good or bad. I think it was actually good. Yeah, of course, my mother, mothers, fellas, are special people. And if you're reaching my age and you still have a mother, you are very, very lucky and fortunate. And they should always, exactly as OC has addressed her as Mrs. Lee. Thank you, OC. We will try and get our mother to come to Asia. I know she won't come, but she'll freaking well love it. And why not? And I'll probably need her to escort me around Asia and to stay safe in Asia. Bring my mum along. I think it'd be cool. I think she'd love it. Anyway, get your passport together, Paddy. There you go. I couldn't tell you that over the phone, but I can tell you in front of all the people here. Get your passport, darling. Apparently there's accommodation and there's rainforest and orangutans and big, massive sculptures of Buddha tours. There is great food and a good accommodation, but there are Buddha tours, and I think that's there you go. I won't give Mum a wrench because she's not on here long enough. She doesn't need a wrench. It's just good to see her in the chat, everybody. Oh, see, look at that, hey? Oh my gosh, you did a good job, Pat. Dave's a true gentleman. Oh, shucks, look how red. And it's not the sun today. There was no sun. So it's red with absolute blush. And oh my gosh. I so needed to hear. Suck up, Tony. uh, I love it. No, Mum's a cool lady, man. I can tell you that right now. There you go. So Mum rides her own bike. Mum rides an 883 Harley Davidson Sporty. And she rides it pretty bloody mean. Now, I remember at least 4 years ago when Mum came to visit me, and I heard her from coming into town. And honestly, I mean, the bike looked outlaw. There was just the only thing that gave it away from being outlaw. It sounded outlaw. It looked outlaw. Was these bright yellow fucking pants and jacket that she was wearing because it was pissing down with rain. So my mother rides in the rain. She's not a fair weather rider. She is a rider. She puts me to shame. My riding, is cavalier at best. My mother's is absolutely on point. Now, I encourage all of you in the chat, the 13, that I have a video where you can meet Pat. Now, if I was on the computer right now, I'd be, bringing up that fucking video of me and my mum go out for a ride. Anyway, mate, you should see her cut across the Pacific Highway in front of this car. I mean, like the car, would never have hit her. There was enough time, but there's not a lot of bikers that would have made that judgment call and then committed. So she's made the judgment call, okay, and committed. Hasn't backed out. And that's what makes her, I don't know about proper outlaw, but very close. She doesn't have to pay any dues, that's for sure. She's not ready for a trike yet, but, God. I'd rather buy her a trip to Thailand and Asia to see the big Buddhas and orangutans. She's not interested in the lady boys. I think the lady boys should stay well away from Pat. That would be a good thing for her trip. But I'm sure she'd love to see the orangutans, the and the Buddha statues, the massive Buddha statues. The gibbon monkeys. I'm the gibbon monkey, mate. I think it'll be great, so we're definitely wild. Yeah, JD Motors, I am definitely Australian. Coming from Western Australia, it's still daylight here. Yeah. Witch on a bike, man. Witch on a bitch bike. Fucking oath. I didn't know about that about your mum, actually. Horrible, cursed language now. Outlaw and witch and bitch in the same sentence. Excuse the language, all right. You didn't need to put it in a converted commas. My mother's actually quite the academic, everybody. So I've only got one paltry degree. She's got 5. She's amazing. She's amazing. And studying at the moment. Up in north of Perth, JD. North of Perth, but not far north. Probably 15 mile if you're in America. Probably about 30 kilometres if you're in Canada. 30 kilometers if you're in Canada and 15 miles if you're in America. Oh, actually, it's not quite. It's what I got told was it's half, and then add. You got to add something. Was it add a third? Half and then add a third is miles to kilometers. Um, Portland Warriors. I don't know much about Portland Warriors. How you going? Portland Warriors. I have no idea, Hellboy. But how you going? I'll buy it. What's Portland Warriors exactly? Thanks for biting, OC, by the way. God bless you. Yeah, Fremantle. JD Motors is the place I go to. JD Motors, I haven't seen you on the channel before. Please go and have a look at the channel. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at some familiar landmarks. Must be mine day. As in Gina Reinhardt's mine, or anyway. Back on it, OC. You know, look, I had a break. I let the eye fix up. Look, I had what but I wasn't drinking 10 of them. You know, I was drinking just one and over a few days. Anyway, Mother. I don't know if Mother's still in. Mother, your son's okay. just. But the mechanic said, you really care for that bike, man. That's a really well looked after bike. Now, I don't care what the doctor says. I don't care what the specialist says. I'd care what the mechanic says. Yeah, no, check it out because you'll see parts of Sydney. You'll see parts of Sydney, JD Motors. Go and check the channel out. Yes, my son. Yeah, sorry about the glasses. I had to do the was it Dame Edna, the Dame Edna look. Yeah, so is OC. OC's a former lad. I was actually very lucky when I moved to New South Wales. I met some chicks from Sydney. I met a really cool lady. Her name was Lee, and she was she was out there. I'm glad I met her actually. Out of all the possible women that I could have met in New South Wales and in Sydney, and I met this freak, and she was a freak. She had more metal in her than a Whyalla steel factory. It was piercings and tats, and she had really long dreads, and she was basically a pagan witch, and she met me as I was busking on the streets of Sydney, and we just sort of felt. I mean, I was an absolute country bumpkin when I moved to Sydney. I was a Western Australian country bumpkin. Basically, when I moved to Sydney, I'd finished broadacre farming with huge agricultural machinery that on par with open cut mining, but in an agricultural setting. So we're doing paddocks that are 1,400 hectare paddocks, They're huge, and the machinery you need to put these crops in is absolutely huge. So first, you're in these huge articulated tractors. You have a ripper bar that rips up all the roots as you go across the paddocks. You're ripping up all trace of all the vegetation. However, I didn't mind doing this because at least he was following windrows, and those windrows would then allow trees to grow. They would protect the crop, and you'd have enough of a what they call a chain, a length of a distance of land where a machine could come, turn around, and do the next chain. Um, so you'd know a little bit about all of that, OC, wouldn't you? Chains and Steiger tractors, and I know you were cattle, so you only know about yards and wearing 10-gallon hats and going, come on in the back. Head of sheep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go. 3,000 head of cattle, mostly merinos. Oh, beautiful sheep they are. What's a merino like 3-day old lamb taste like? Now we're talking. Oh, it didn't make it. Mum put it in the pot. Go on, it didn't make it. They need to be a Kiwi. Oh, so you still did the grain and stick raking. Yeah, right, stick raking. Yep, chain. 2 point, it's 2D8 dozers. That's right, exactly right. That's called the chain because the chain dragged behind the D8 dozers to clear the land. Well, your farmers are constantly spraying, not like the old days where you just plough up the weeds. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I know. There is some farmers though that swear by organic methods, but they also get a lesser price for their produce because it's full of not contaminated, but well, I suppose it is contaminated. If you've got rasp seed and dandelion seed in the wheat or the barley, whatever it is, they've got to clear. Yeah, yeah, dad law. There you go. We never had fertilizers or pesticides, not because you couldn't afford it. That's exactly right. You could not afford the pesticides. I get it, man. And it wasn't because we were tree huggers either. That's exactly right. Anyway, Mum, if you've still joined us for the half an hour, look, it's getting on to 10 o'clock over there. It's past your bedtime, dear. Sleep well. Um, sleep well, darling. I'll speak to you again very, very shortly. But anyway, so that's how I do a live. I think they're entertaining. I think they're a good little catch up. It's like a Zoom meeting. Basically, what I need to do is get StreamYard and get you on here, Mum, to talk to Mama Hooligan over there in Alabama, and you can have a virtual cup of tea with Mama Hooligan and just chat. I mean, Mama Hooligan, I think, was raised on a farm as well, and you'd have, much to talk about. Truckload of kids. One of the boys now, Recycled Hooligans, sort of the main caregiver of her now, and life's okay for them. But I think old Mama Hooligan would love it. Paddy, I bid you good night, darling. We'll talk again soon. I love you, darling. Sleep well. You're the best mum in the world. So lucky you're still here. Now fucking go and polish that bike. I mean, whoops, that just sort of slipped out. Whoops, sorry about that. There you go. White Crow. Now, White Crow, bro. I don't know if it was you who sent me a message about joining the Russian army. I went. Hopefully, you can reply and say yes, it was me. Still stuck up to me. Hey, g'day, 5,000 butterflies. Elite. There's always something that can affect the crop, I see. Did White Crow respond? And thanks everyone for responding and being in the chat. It's been good. Oh yeah, you are the nice guy, Tony. But not when you get on the Honda 754. You're not the nice guy then, that's for sure. Screaming down but those New South Wales roads are atrocious. They're fucking atrocious. Anyway, I don't know where White Crow's gone. But anyway, I was just going to say to White Crow, whether or not you're in the chat or not, I didn't say congratulations to you, White Crow. Because what I really wanted to ask you was, are you okay with joining the Russian army? Is it actually something that you want to do, or have you been conscripted? And if you've been conscripted, then I pray for you. I pray for your safety and your delivery to come home again after your required time. If you want to go, then, respect. But the way you seemed to reach out to me seemed to be like, this is not your decision. And conscription is what's alive and well in the US. It's not USSR anymore. It's actually Putin's Russia. Now, I don't want to get political. I don't want to get international politics or anything. But White Crow, you've made some interesting comments over the weeks that I've been doing these lives, and I'm not sure that's exactly what you had planned to be spending your next few years doing. Certainly not fighting for somebody. But anyway, that is what they want you to do. Please be safe. I will think of you. To White Crow, everyone going off to the army in a war that nobody wants, that everybody's got. Oh yeah, the algorithm heard that one. Hey JD Motors, no worries. Have a great day. I'll do my best here in Perth for the next 2 weeks while I undergo more medical procedures. They want to scientifically probe things, a bit like aliens in a spaceship, really. But anyway, yes, what's happening, Muhammad? You said that twice. Makes sense. Come again means twice. You're right, come again. Anything interesting to say, Muhammad, to the rest of the chat? The other people in here again? If not, that's okay. Anyway, I'm going to the bar. So sorry. How will you ever forgive me? Can you? Can you see it in your hearts to forgive me? Oh, thank you, Buck. Buck of me. So you went, Buck Brown. I knew something was up. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Hey, what a rude, here I am hosting this wonderful chat, Globe included. Beautiful Australia there. And I just have no respect for South. Oh, South. I'll get to you in a sec, South. I have no respect for the chat. South, the specialist can let me go. My eye's all right, but the GP doesn't want to let me go. He wants cardiograms and fucking spirometry tests. So I've got 2 weeks before I'm on the road. Just pisses me off. I'm going to try and get them all done this Thursday. I think it'll be next Thursday before I get the chance to even hit South Australian roads. It could be crabs, Dave. It could be. It could be. But I haven't been with anyone. But there's been people who slept in my bed. There you go. Hey, when I go away, it's like hotbeds here. Like it's like hotbeds, mate. When I get out, your voice is in. Oh, man, no, thank you, Bucky. It was cool, man. I'm glad you got the painting. Look, I know you probably would have paid eight and a half for those tree loppers, so there's no excuse now. Go to a picture framers. Go and get that framed, man. Go and get it framed. Ask for the border. A picture framer will give that picture the care it deserves, and that will be able to live longer. I love Christine's work. I just don't like the medium she's working on. So I've been talking about that to her. See, my powers just went out again, down to 5%. Yeah. You got it. You get it. So behind a glass cabinet, or behind a glass, that painting will survive longer. Out of glass, man, this just won't last. So it needs to be time capsuled because of the materials she's using, and that's great that she's making art, but she's hopefully she's using a bit of a varnish over the last bit, so that keeps it keeps all her marks that she makes. She's actually quite a good, talented artist. And please, for God's sake, I hope she's never been properly trained. I think she just does it because she's compelled to do it, because she enjoys doing it. I think she does it because she enjoys doing it. So that's the Creative Cruiser, everybody, if you don't know her channel. Again, if I had my computer, I could bring up her link, and I don't. I just have a stupid phone that's running out of power. But that's great that you're going to protect that Australian artist. I've called her with the likes of Brett Whiteley and Charles Blackman. So there are 2 Australian artists, Buck, that you might want to have a look at. Definitely Charles Blackman and Brett Whiteley. There's some really good, famous, constables and, traditional artists that are really excellent with what they do, but they lack the individual stories. One thing about an old fella's lines on his face, either the stories that face tells. Brett's work. He's gone and he isn't gone. I see. He He painted a storm, man. He painted a prolific amount of work. Brett's here alive and well. When you look at a Brett Whiteley and you look at his eyes, and if you just imagine he'd be there, Oxford Street, picking up bumpers. It's not horrible. He would be picking up cigarette bumpers on Oxford Street, drinking other people's drinks from restaurants and picking up bumpers and then going back to his studio and painting. He'd be drinking the thinners of the where you wash your oil brushes. He'd be drinking that while this young gay guy from Oxford Street would recite poetry in his painting studio. The dude was bent as fuck. But that's what you need to do to produce that sort of art. Christine needs to ride around the world to produce the sort of art she does. Not every woman can do what Christine does. So she has her own crazy way like Brett was. You know, Brett was crazy. Brett was a lunatic, but a fantastic painter. Who's to say, you know, where the madness comes from? Oh, I think you should get some Brett Whiteleys and place them in the special section of the lounge section of your bar, where the intimate cocktails are served. What's a good one? Maybe the Sydney Harbour one, or Archie in the shower. He's a dirty old perv, as Brett Whiteley paints his daughter in the shower for the whole world to see. But he was celebrating the female form. He could have picked another model rather than his own daughter. Anyway, I don't mind criticising Brett Whiteley. I love Brett Whiteley. I think Brett Whiteley is so much better than Pro Hart. But Pro Hart painted emus like no one else could, and everyone else has tried. He can't piss that kind of money on a painting. No. You just no. What I'm saying is the prints. Get a print of that painting. So the reproduction is all you need behind a glass, and call it a Whiteley. You know. Just get the print. Brett doesn't deserve to do, But I was just thinking, but with Buck Brown, he has a wonderful new Australian contemporary artist who I think will go down in somewhat. I'll certainly push it. I'll certainly tell people about our new contemporary artist, Christine Keneally. Definitely. Christine Kniebel, I think her name is. I'm not 100% sure. Buck will tell me. Who Trent Barry? Who Trent Barry? No idea who Trent Barry is. But Brett Whiteley would paint. Brett Whiteley would have reproductions, and it's all you need is a framed reproduction, and that's fine, because it's all about when the viewer sees the painting for the first time and recognizes, oh, that's a Whiteley. Hey, hello. I'm glad you caught me from a live. I'm sort of backing away from lives a bit. I'm not doing as many anymore, nor sort of do I want to. I should just pause the camera while they move the medium. I'll just block the camera lens while they move the medium. He's got no humour anymore. It's just constant work for poor Mick. Constant. Oh, he's got to wash it too. You got to wash it, don't you? Fuck. Wash the medium. Okay. Did you OC ever see the wonderful Archibald winner Diane of Erskineville? I'd love to talk about Diane of Erskineville right now. You've got my appetite. Yes, salivating. Yeah, see, fucking hell. Sorry to hear that, mate. Yeah, well, family. But anyway, did you ever see Diane at Erskineville, or does that ring a bell? I think it would if you're a bit of an arty. Sorry, I know your name there. I just can't see it very well. Julie, how are you doing, Dave? I'm good. I'm talking about Australian artists with some sort of international merit, and the potential Ford can fuck off. I'd rather talk to you guys, especially when I have little power left. Pro heart sign. So you didn't know about Diane at Erskineville. I would actually encourage the whole chat, the four whole members that are here of the chat. Yeah, Wendy Sharp. Fucking oath I do. But the Diane, what a fantastic painting. Now that was an Archibald golden moment. I think it depicted feminist 101. And if a feminist 101 does it right, it deserves to be celebrated. You know, I loved Wendy Sharp's work. I think she's a great human being. But there's another one in Sydney who I'm going to try and meet when I'm there. I definitely want to talk to her because she rides a bike herself. I don't think she knows a lot about my channel, but that's okay too. But I hope that not only does Dave's channel support women who ride, but it supports women who make art. And she, oh gosh, she's the goddess. Exactly. See, the goddess. She's more goddess than any of these Rod B fucking goddesses, self-proclaimed goddesses of Byron Bay. Diane of Erskineville is the goddess. With her paintbrush and her sort of Dungari. She's wearing overalls, but her sort of lace. She just in bra. I think she was just in a bra. She was relaxing at home, and someone caught her. Wendy happened to catch her. I think it's an exaggerated self-portrait. I think it's, some would say, a caricature of Wendy Sharp, not an exact likeness. The art I produce. Hold on, Buck, I missed it. Oh, you retracted it. It was a good comment. Yeah, fucking oath. She was a great. Oh man, my art lecturers wanted my paintings so bad because on the final discussion of them telling me about my art career, I didn't listen to a word they said, and I sat there and I drew them. They were quite intimidated. It was like me filming them, except instead of filming them, I was doing court drawings, really quick little sketches that I knew how to do. If I did like a cross where their eyes were, what their expression was, where their hands were, while they were telling to me. The art I produce is knowing I don't ride other American-made V-twins. Yes, that's a poignant thing that you're saying. Look, there's a guy who rides up and down my road on an Indian, and sure, it's actually better sounding than the Harley. Okay, so that's all I'm going to fall in for that one, Buck Brown. What's the word? I humbly admit defeat that I have the loudest Harley in the neighbourhood. It's actually, an Indian Scout, I think, with a aftermarket exhaust on it. Pro Heart was around to show us his paintings. There you go. There you go, Tony. It doesn't wash with me. I'll never have an Indian, right? The reason I'll never have an Indian isn't because I don't like them, it's because I can't afford an Indian. Anyway, all you can say to Buck Brown is, now I'm doing my best here. Oh, well, my best isn't good enough. It's not going to work. It's just not going to frickin' work at all. No, it's not going to work. I just don't know how to do this and get a really good, how can I do this? How can we do this? Just trying to set up a really good okay, that's good. What's going on? I think I've fucked it. I think I've fucked it. It's good. Luke, he's all gone. Okay. Tony. Dave on a loop, or did I have a stroke? No. What happened was the power ran out. When the power runs out, so does Dave's channel. What hasn't run out just yet, thank God, is the drink. But hey, wonderful, the people in the chat who met my mother. I don't know if it was Yassine, but it was certainly Tony. Tony, she's a wonderful human being who's featured all over my YouTube channel, going for a ride with Mummy Patty. So all good stuff. I'm glad you came in and saw a little bit of Dave's channel. Yassine, yes, I'm good. I've been better, but I'm not so bad. So I know the microphone's working well. I've got good lighting. It's time to close the door. Close the door. Put out the light. You know they won't be home tonight. The foot that drags the snow that drifts. And if it fits, yeah, pictures on there, no one down. Oh, whoops. I'm getting stuck between my maze of motorcycles. Okay. Yes, my maze of motorcycles. You know, I'm coming over there because that's unfortunately where the chat's going to have to be, because it's got a good holder there. Now let's put the light up there so it's not so much in my eyes. Oh, that's a little better. Okay. What's your business? Well, what's my business, Yassine? What's your business, Yassine? There you go. Bit effluent in here. Fuck. it stinks like fuck. Okay, I think the chat's fucked up somehow. That might work better. I think that'll work better. Okay, that'll work really good. So, a couple of people in the chat, how you all going? A few likes. It has been a bit of a successful chat, really. I haven't been on for a while, and I am actually going to slowly start doing less of these and a bit more GoProing. The longer format is not a bad thing. But please, your questions. What have you got to ask? My business is entertaining, you see. I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm good, Koala Jimmy. I'm not too bad at all. There's not many people in the chat, but you're here, and that's good. I'm back on the sauce. Back on the sauce, mate. Paid for as well, not taken like these First Nation young fellas did today. Don't know what to say about that. How do you respect people that don't respect people trying to earn a living, but just walk in and scare them? Don't know. Pretty freaking brazen. Even in front of a bar, oh man. Should I have got involved? I don't know. Good on you, mate. I've had a few hangovers myself, mate. I don't enjoy them either, to be honest. Usually when I've had hard nights drinking is when I get me hangovers, Jimmy. Listen, I'm going to sit down the other side of the desk there, and I'll tell you a few stories. I might put my glasses on, but I'll tell you a few stories. I can see. Right, what's going on? Here we are. Welcome one, welcome all. Can you see the globe? I'll spin it round for you. There you go. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a globe, right round, reckon, baby. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby. There's Australia. That's all we need. Okay, sorry about the rest of the world. It's all flat anyway. Don't worry. So we're on the very left-hand side of the globe. But I'll spin it slowly, like a oh no, that's the wrong rotation, isn't it? It doesn't go that way. Oh, I think it goes that way. Here comes Africa. Ready, people? Africa is coming, man. Africa. India's up there somewhere. And here we go, back to little old Australia again. Right down the bottom of the world.
is dear old Australia. And that's where we're coming from in this live right now, from that country right there. I don't know how clearly you can see it. You take away the medical cannabis, of course, because that's none of your business. It's my business. Someone asked me before in the chat, what is your business? My business is medical cannabis. I'm sure everyone would agree. Vapes for all. Medical treatments for everyone. Especially the, oh man, I saw something today that was just wrong. It was so wrong. It's the difference between breaking the law and not breaking the law. The theft of alcohol at bottle shops is so prevalent. The black fellas just walk in. They're so brazen. They don't care if they're on security cameras. They really don't care. I guess that don't care mentality would extend to their use of drugs, I guess. They don't care what they inject into their body. And that causes them to not care about the bigger picture. They won't get too much trouble for that, maybe a couple of court appearances and, a little bit of a, what do you call it, penalty in their social security check, where they're forced by the law to have a compulsory withdrawal from their Centrelink check to pay the restitution of the purchase that they failed to pay for today. Look, 60, maybe 70. There were 10 packs. So they were Jack Daniels, probably 75, 75's 150 plus a third, 220, maybe $250, but not more than that. But that's still, that's still a significant loss from a struggling business. And what could the poor single shop attendant do but ring the police? Let them have it. She can't fight them. And is Liquorland going to? Maybe it's time for me to jump up and down and say Liquorland put an elderly woman who's working in the community of Kalamunda at grave risk of having her neck stabbed. Why not? Her neck stabbed. I mean, these guys were ruthless to steal. What's stopping them from getting caught? Oh, we'll just stab her in the neck. You know what she should go for? She should go for a workers' compensation, a payout. Actually, I didn't click. I didn't advise her quick enough. I should have stepped in, told her about the provisions for a workers' compensation payout, because they were too tight to put security guards there, because it's not needed here. Well, the stories I heard today, it's needed. So I might go and revisit her the next time I'm up in Kalamunda and get her to press those issues with her boss. I don't think they'd sack her, because that would be unfair dismissal for raising those issues, and that would be an even more greater payout. So in one way, I hope they do dismiss her, and then she can get even more. and never have to work again. God bless her. All because a couple of young thugs came in. Yes, they are nice sunglasses. They're very good sunglasses. Thank you very kindly. A couple of young thugs came into the shop, stole from an elderly. You know, this lady's gone out of retirement. She should be retired, but she can't afford. So she takes a little daytime job at a liquor shop, selling liquor to the people of Kalamunda. She doesn't need to be threatened or potentially threatened by thugs who want to just come into her shop and steal alcohol. Oh, Dave. Anyway, I'm just looking for some accoutrement. That's freaking fucking sure. But I won't be staying in here much longer. It's pretty strong. Okay, so we have said accoutrements. We found them. Thank the Lord. Tally ho. A whole bloody box of them. Yeah, crazy. Anyway, enough about that shit. It was so depressing to see. I hate seeing crime. And then, you know, I'm sitting on the park bench having a cigarette, about to say, oh, boys, you got a fucking nice payday there. But I didn't say nothing. I wasn't quick. They were quick. They're in and out. Boom, boom, done. Thank you. Turn around. They're gone. Yeah. Nah, Donald Trump doesn't get a mention on my channel. There he goes, he just got a mention. Twice, in fact. What part of the world are you from, mate? What part of the globe? What about Donald Trump? Are you from Madagascar, perhaps? There you go. Madagascar. No, you're not. You're from here, Hyderabad. Hyderabad. Yeah, there you are. Hyderabad. You're from Hyderabad. You're out trolling my life from Hyderabad. How are you, Hyderabad? What is going on in the scamming world? Hope you made a few dollars today, you mean mother fricker, by confusing the elderly. This is exactly what we're talking about. Crime against the elderly. What an easy target. Is it really that profitable, Crims? It might be. But this poor girl's going to go home, you know, and feel a sense of shame that she lost money for her workplace today. I know she will, because that's the sort of calibre of worker she was. You know, honest, downright, a stand-up girl, man. Anyway, she was lucky enough to see the vehicle number plate, and that's an identifying mark, and those poor idiots will get caught. And yeah, bummer, stupidity. Stupidity for them. Looks like they got a few people though, the police today. They were busy up in the hills. No wonder there's cameras up in that area. It's a major thoroughfare for escaping Perth. Oh dear. Anyway, all good. I was in and visited my old home, and there's another person in that house. So the house went. So I'm upset about that. I wasn't quick enough. That's okay. The cost of living in Western Australia is starting to. I think the cost of living out in the country is a lot better. I think it'll be better for me out in the country. So it's been nice living here in Richville, one of the most affluent cities in Western Australia, Hillary's. But it's time to, think about moving on, guys. Mind you, I pay top dollar here, but I've got good security. My motorcycles are in the garage, and that's all I really. Yes, I should worry about me. I've got a nice bed, but my motorcycles are in a safe, garage, and that's good. They're out of the weather. They're not getting pissed on, or the sun's shining on them, fading the paint. They're good. They're indoors, man, and that's all I want. Is my bike's indoors. And I'll hang in the shed with them too. Spent a lot of money on the bike today. So I've got to spend even more in the next few days on the other one. It needs a service, man. My other bike needs a service. There's no two ways out of it. Needs a service. It needs replacement of perhaps battery. It needs replacement of perhaps spark plugs. I think it definitely needs 3-point oil change, 3-hole oil change. I think the brakes and everything are okay. The tyre on the front could do with replacing. I think the tyre on the front could do with replacing. So there's another grand. But then if you don't do that, and because you didn't replace that front tyre, and then it suddenly rains and you've got a slick and you fall into a car and you're permanently injured and you can't ride again, had you spent the $1,000 that you could have avoided that, it just makes sense. To me, it makes absolute freaking sense. Spin the globe around. Tell them where you're from. See that little bit of land mass right there? Right at the bottom. That's where we're from. That's Australia, guys. It's a tiny little country in the globe sense. It's completely the other side to Brazil. So Bolivia is actually where Perth is. Oh, no, sorry. Bolivia is where Sydney is, this area. Bolivia is here on the other side of the globe. And Perth is actually, I'm going to call it the Amazon. The Amazon is where Perth is, directly the opposite side of the globe. But if we move it around here a little bit, we don't feel so bad for Hyderabad. Where's Hyderabad? In the middle of India, isn't it? There you go. Hyderabad. I know all about Hyderabad and the call centres there that are fleecing elderly, unwitting pensioners out of thousands of dollars. So yes, I do know. But I rather like this place here. where OC is, but I don't know if he's in the chat right now. We've got one person in the chat. That's awful. Am I that freaking boring? Okay. Perhaps I am that boring. But anyway, Rajip Singh. So there. That's where you're from. Right there. On the globe. I don't know how good you can see it. Where's India? Poor India. Hyderabad. No, that's Africa, isn't it? Africa. India is up here. India is smaller than Africa. That's India right there. Hyderabad. But we're not worried about India right now. We're worried about right here on the western side of Western Australia. On the western side of Western Australia is where we're from. The sun comes up and the sun goes down. I think the sun comes up this way, sets in the west, rises in the east. But there's a curvature of the world, and you can see it, you know. When I look dead straight, I can't see Western Australia. But as the world turns, I can see it. So that's amazing. There you go. A little bit of, it doesn't matter, I see. It's just viewer numbers for me. I'm more interested in talking about your dear, beloved country. Please, OC, can you tell me a town that you were near so I can look it up on the globe and see where I'll be going to spend the last of my fortune drinking and smoking citrali for $7 an ounce. Here it is there. I've got Bangkok, and I've then got Vientiane, Chiang Mai, Southern Bangkok, Salok. Okay, say the Southern Bangkok. Where are you? Are you in that little peninsula that goes down? Okay, so that's Laos. There you go. So I went too high. It is too. Yep, got it. So Bangkok. Actually, you've got a little section like a bite, a small Australian bite. So you're in Bangkok. Okay. You're here, man. You're right there. And I'm down here. We're not that far away, really. We share the same sort of sunlight patterns, in a way. We actually do. We're very similar time. So it's definitely the evening for you. Late in the evening. Okay, guys, I will take this call because it's important. I'll be back 20 minutes from anyone that stuck around. It was important to have that phone call, but we're back on. We're here again. Welcome in. Thank you for coming. Hey. How's it going? Hey. What you doing? Where you going? What you doing? I have no idea about the trolls that are throwing. Yeah. So, everybody, that was a real important phone call from a mate. And that mate was, he was just talking, and he needed to talk to another mate. And lucky am I that I was the mate that he needed to talk to. Very lucky man I am indeed to have such quality friends that I can, rely on. And we just came up with a really good plan. So those 17 minutes that elapsed in the live, I'm very, very sorry for all the viewers who went away, but it was sort of important. And you'll see what I mean in a couple of months, because Dave's channel's not going away. Dave's channel's sort of here to stay. Bring out the oxygen mask, mate, but Dave's channel is here to stay. So I rang up a couple of mates today who are metal fabricators, and asked them to consider. I've got to send them all the dimensions, the circumference of the cylinder of the oxygen. So they need to make a bracket where the oxygen bottle fits into the bracket and then places on the top of my pannier on the motorcycle. Because I tell you right now, guys, I ain't stopped riding yet. I ain't stopped riding. Might have stopped breathing on my own, but I haven't stopped riding. And sorry I can't read the messages, but where the frickin' heck's me drink? Myself. Without the drink, I am nothing. Where's me drink gone? Dear Lord, me drink. Hey, dear Lord, me drink. There's a little bit left, and then I'm going to have to leave you for a bit and head out to the bar. Head out to the bar. So I'll look at the next comment on the chat. Let's have a swig, and we'll point on the globe where that person's from. Okay, so we have no one in the chat, absolutely no one in the chat. So OC's here still, OC, 20 minutes from anywhere that matters. Yeah, okay, so anyone in the chat? Hello, forever speak your piece now. And we'll spin. What's in the box? Where in the world? We'll call it where in the world. Right, where in the world? Okay, if no one's going to say anything, I'm off to the bar quickly. I'm off to the bar to replenish my drink. And I'll come back and sing Sarah, you're the poet in my heart. You build your wall only to fall apart. Sarah. There you go. Back up. Oh no, they're in the bar, you dead cunt. Build your house with your immense sex size. Sarah. Yes, I'm back, everybody. Hello. Quimmy. David ever loved a woman? Plenty. I'm thinking about them right now, actually. So Jimmy, we were talking earlier about a witch in Redfern that I met called Lee. I loved her dearly. Then I went down to Canberra and this chick latched hold of me because she saw me as a way out of Canberra. And yeah, I dug it. Then I met, what was her name? Sabine. Sabine was from Amsterdam. And I fell in love with a Dutch girl in Byron Bay. She was fantastic. Then I met another witch. She was from Nimbin. She was a bit crazy, but still, it certainly made for a wild romance. It wasn't very long, but it was definitely wild. Certainly the wildest romance I've ever had. Wow. Then I think I met Nikki. Nikki was a crazy chick who loved my motorcycle, loved me, loved my motorcycle, loved to travel, loved getting out, loved being part of the unit. Then I met Romy. Romy was an artist who taught me art, and bang, I learnt all about being an artist. Then who did I meet? No, we lost a child, and I never loved again. I never bothered. We lost a child and it was just too hard, and never loved again. So I had plenty of lovers, lots of one-night stands, lots of travellers from all around the globe that had come to the town of Nimbin, who would come cross paths with the charming Dave without his hair and locks. But there's a photo somewhere of me at that time, looking quite the Australian dapper gent actually. I was right into skateboard culture, right into vans and off the wall stuff, and yeah, I had some pretty cool ladies, man. And so yes, I have loved, and no doubt Koali Jimmy I will love again, given the opportunity. But I'm not out there really looking for it. I don't really want it right now because I can't afford it. To have, like I was telling a live the other day, to do a $300 meal and get nothing because they feel so dissatisfied with me as a male, when they could get a much younger, more virile one, would be a complete waste of money. And they balked at how much I would spend on a date, and $300 would be a lovely date. Some fine entrees, some lovely wines, some great conversation, getting to know and wooing your potential lover is half the challenge and half the game. And I think that's far better than usually staying, bland and the same. Bland and the same. Woo your lover. $300 for a meal. Fucking oath. That's living, man. That's living. Come on, baby. Come on down. If you want to have a meal with me, let's go hit the town. There you go. So there you go. Keep it interesting, brother. Buy a motorcycle. Take her for a ride. Find something new that she relies on you for. expensive pastime. Yeah, I know, I don't do it. That's why it's, that's why I can go to the motorcycle shop today, because I didn't fucking go on a $300 date. But if you're going to go on a date, make it count. Make it worth one of those memories that you'll always cherish, I took myself on a date one night. I think it was the first time I got an advance $1,000 from Centrelink. And with that money, I went off to Simon's Seafood Restaurant and ordered, at that time in the early 90s. No, it's not about that, Amy. It's about because the return is the memory for me that I keep of that wonderful evening, gorging on figs and olives with, strong meats and a selection of cheeses, and then into the main meal, the duck cooked properly, the lamb served rare, things that are cooked with a professionality. Yeah, you've got to remember these things. You build these moments. And sure, I've got a very expensive European taste, and it's a downfall sometimes, but, for the people that enjoy my company, we do get horribly sloshed, but on the most loveliest way. Oh, they are the best times, man. That's why you do it, But I was just talking about, Simon's Seafood Restaurant and the grilled octopus, with the bottle of Chardonnay, I'm just a street beggar, and I've got some money, and I've gone in and spent the money, happily do it. Not go into the restaurant, eat like that, and then fuck off. No, it was about paying that bill and having the satisfaction to be able to pay that bill. That meal I'll never forget. So really, I got out of that quite cheaply. For that memory to last me, that was 31 31 years ago. There you go. So I've never forgotten that evening. I took myself out. I don't know if it was the same night I met Lee. I think I met Lee on a busking night. Lee was a strange individual. I don't know why, what drew me to her. I had no idea. I was just a country bunkin, I was a country bunkin, guys. Oh, well, we've got a few with the chat. Hey, hello, everybody. Hello. Oh, man, yeah, for sure. Today I treated myself, by taking my motorcycle to the bike shop to get a three-hole service. I can't do it. When I do it, I cross-thread the bung holes, and I'm a bad mechanic. Thank God I got a few dollars to afford the correct service, and it gets done properly. And I guess the mechanics are glad that they, every time they see the bike, the increase of kilometres is astronomical for them. I'm in doing services more times than anybody else because I've got the kilometres up. So I ride my bikes, man. I want my money's worth. I want to see this Road King do 4,000 kilometres, 260 miles. And still go strong. I want to be able to look after it properly. And then what did the mechanics say? Geez, you've well looked after that motorcycle, mate. Oh, man, I do enjoy them, Amy. So the doctor has given me the all clear to ride. The GP has asked me to wait 2 weeks because he wants tests. So I'm not going anywhere for the next 2 weeks. This Thursday a week is when I go. So it's not quite 2 weeks. So yeah, this Thursday I fuck off. After I go up and I do my test, and then I leave Western Australia and go and hang out in the recording studio. I think that's important for me, especially now faced with imminency. I think it's a good time to make some more music. I think it's good to leave it behind. I haven't got any children to leave behind to further my name, so it'll have to be in my music and my films. Best listen to them. Yeah, you will. Look, there's some stuff out there already, Amy. I think you would like my song called Woman. It's on one of my albums there. There's 3 of them. Woman is a song about falling in love with, I've mentioned her a few times, Nikki, on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. Basically a foster care lady who every relationship she was always abused violently, sexually, physically, verbally, the whole lot. I wanted so badly to love her that the time she opened herself up to me, it took me at such a ghast that I didn't want to seem like I was dissatisfied to see her, like I thought this is what I want. But she called me out and said I was faking. She went home and she put a rope around her neck and hung herself. Now, I've never blamed myself. All I tried to do was make her feel absolutely important, even if I was faking, but she was in such a depressed state from a life of other horrible men that abused her and treated her like crap, that was her safe place. She'd always known that place of betrayal by men, I guess, for not understanding her. And not really fuck me. It's more, I get why, I was the camel. But I can tell you right now, the poor chick isn't suffering at her memories of what men have done to her through her whole life. So she's not suffering that anymore. And that's to be celebrated, And her memory lives on because of me. Because every time I go to her town, I will go to the pub, I will raise a beer and I will call it out in the bar. This one's for Nikki, guys. Raise your glasses and let's have a toast to Nikki. Some of the people know who I'm talking about. Others just do it, yeah, Nikki, blah, blah, blah. But I always do that. And her memory is as live for that few microseconds, She was a good chick. She didn't need to take her own life, but her mental illness took her life. She was unchecked medically, But I think the damage was done years ago, and it wasn't done by me. I was just the camel that I was the straw, the little straw that broke the camel's back after being endured with such a heavy load that she had to carry. So I dig Nikki very much, and I'm glad I wrote a couple of songs about her. So the song "Woman," there on one of my albums, and most recently, actually, the new works that I'm working on now, Amy, feature that song very much. So I'm because my bike is my new woman, so I thought I'd use that music. Hey, how you going? So there you go. That's a little bit about the question, Dave, have you ever loved? I think I've loved too fucking deeply, but could never get that ring on the finger. I think the ladies knew I was never a keeper, that I was always a drifter, that I was always a traveller, that I was a gypsy. And so gypsy's a hard thing to track down or tie down. Anyway, I'm going back to my drink. It's been nice to talk to you. Amy's a cool chick. She has a lovely little doggy. And she's a cool lady, man. It's good to talk to you guys. Around the globe. All around the globe. There you go. I've got my globe close. I've got my drink at hand. I've told you that I'm just like every other bloody human who's lived and loved and lost and still surviving. Am I lonely? I'm happy in my own skin. I'm my own best friend. I'm never lonely with me in my head. No chance. I'm cool. I'm rocking it. But I do need my lighters. Anyway, it's been a cool chat. Okay. You'll be right, brother. You'll muster it. It's taken me 50 years to master that one that I'm talking about right now, Jimmy. So don't give yourself too much of a hard time. It's only now that I can be cool about it. You know, it's all good. I've got my faults, brother. I have my faults. I didn't need to hear the doctor today talk of such drastic action for my health and prevent me from going and doing what I love for my own mental health to satisfy their sciences to back up their claims of why I need such medical treatment. But obviously, you know, that's what they do. I'm a money cash cow because I'm sick. It's a lot of money to be made out of sick people. Don't you forget that, guys. When you're sick, you're a very much, you know, you can make a lot of money out of sick people. Yep, doctors, eh? He loves me. You got to come, you got to do this, and you need this, and you need that. And he knows now because I paid the fucking bill. Took fucking 9 months, but I paid the bill because I needed to see him again. He's actually a good quack. He'll be the quack that gets me on the disability. Yeah, he's big pharma, but it might be that I have to put this into suppositories. I might need oil, THC oil in suppositories. I may not be able to smoke anymore. And that's sad, but wonderful because that's the best way to actually get high. I know it sounds disgusting, but I'm aware of it. I know what's wrong with me, and you know. Anyway, g'day everyone in the chat. I appreciate all of your support. I'm not too down. Just faced with a few things that I thought I'd express online, because people are interested. So there you go. But most people really dig the buy.
They like the bikes, man. They really, really like the bikes, man. They like this bike, and they really, really like this bike. Because this bike's really, really cool. And this bike's just about to get even freaking cooler. So, there you go, everyone. Oh, I'm up. We've gone through that, haven't we? Yeah, it's a beautiful, man, it's just a sweet ride, you know. But I'll tell you, Jimmy, that in my early days of motorcycling, I was always scoffed at. Um, Mind you, the boys that had the big bikes, they never scoffed at me, like the $30,000 to $40,000 bikes. They never scoffed at me, but the guys that have got maybe the $8,000 bikes, you fucking, you haven't made it, you dead cunt, you know, riding around on jappers, and you know, so. But as a young impressionable man, I sort of listened to them, and I fell in with the wrong crowd, and you know, oh, Dave, you made so many mistakes. But anyway, as I've gone through my life, I've tried to rectify those mistakes. Now, I thought it was a dream of mine to have a bike that I grew. I did that and I wasn't fulfilled. So I went and got a bike that I worked for, that I could show on paper where I got the money to buy that bike. And then bang, she started. Okay, so it started out with a couple of FJ 1200s by Yamaha. Because a couple of bikes before then, it was always, you know, busked here, made a few dollars there. It was always on the side, you know. Could never really prove where I got the money from, even as a busker, you know. Mind you, it was funny when I put all my ill-gotten gains into the post office and they asked me where I got my money from. I said, oh, didn't you get the invite? Oh, I had a huge gallery sensation with sales at the markets. People were buying my ballerina prints, left, right, and centre for $50 each. And there's all these 50s and the clerks counting all these 50s. Oh, mate. And I did. Did I? Yeah, sorry, brother. You can fuck off too, old ugly. Are you calling me old ugly? Yep, no worries, because your name comes. Yeah, well, mate, old ugly, whatever. See you later. Smooth, brother. It's all about being smooth, man. It was a good thing to say, you know. I had developed a technique where I used a wire brush on the ink. So you basically, what you do is you get a glass plate and you roll ink on it. So say you want to do the tutu. Basically you roll a nice blue, light blue, sky blue onto a glass. You sort of etch out a shape of the tutu, you know, the bodice part, you know, down the cleavage and how it forms into the thighs. But before doing the skirt part, you get the wire brush and you just do that. And that provides the skirt. Then you come in, you block everything else out, and then you come in with the legs, arms, and hand movements. One hand might be here, one hand might be there. Anyway, that's how I was doing my prints. I was just making these ballerinas. I thought it was imperative for me as an Australian bloke to paint women. You know, I mean, that's what I love. I may as well paint them. And they couldn't, all they could say was that, we're sick of being portrayed as, objects. And I said, well, I like it, and it's what I want to paint. If the duck's blue, I'm painting it blue. If the girl's in a blue bikini, I'm painting it blue. So I struggled at university with the feminist argument, but I wasn't buying into it. I was always going to paint what I loved. I wish I had I wish I was on the other computer now, where I could show you my paintings of my ballerinas and my various nudes, all out of my head. Certainly not in a pornographic sense of exploitation, but in a celebratory manner of enjoying the form of the woman as a thing regarded on high. Why would you be bothered to paint something if you were just... So I enjoyed painting things like that. Yeah, celebration of the female body, and also, the celebration of the man with the female in an embrace. Or I have a rather disturbing picture of an embrace, and to some people it looks like it's a rape, or some people it looks like an awkward situation. It all depends on what you bring with your own hindsight and your own memory to my viewing one of my paintings. What you bring decides what your interpretation of my painting is. Anyway, there you go. I had no idea of the well, not really a muse. A muse is a whole different thing, Amy. Now, a muse is someone that I know, that I adore, that I want to. A lot of these paintings of the women in my art were okay. So I open a book, I'd look at an art book. Oh yeah, I like that painting, the three nudes like that. Look at it, close it, do it from my memory of what that picture was. So I'm not actually copying it. I've got inspired by the painting. So if you were to line them up, no, there would be subtle differences. And art books are the way that I got my whole graduation paintings for graduation were painted by a blind woman. Her name was Sonia Delaunay. I found it in an obscure art book, Art 2000 or something. It was a very obscure art book, art magazine. Anyway, they did a feature about Sonia Delaunay. Now, if you were to type in the Google Sonia Delaunay, you would see her paintings, and she's actually quite famous. I didn't know that. I had no idea, but I liked the way that she had done red, yellow, blue. Red, yellow, blue. Mix them up. That makes black. That black forms the road that I must travel on to gain academic success. And that's where it all came from. So I essentially did a whole heap of test tiles with different tones of red, yellow, blue, and then this road. And I asked a few artists, is this ripping her off? And they looked at my work, they looked at her work, and they said, no, you've got more signage, you've got more things going on. And so it wasn't a rip-off. It was called appropriation. So appropriation in contemporary art was all the go. So I managed to pass my art degree, not with flying colours, because I painted too many women. They were never going to be on my side. The art establishment of Australia in 2000, they were never going to acknowledge that, a biker because I rode my Norton Commando straight into my art studio. And that was sort of like the cry for the rest of the students to come and buy dope off me because they knew that I lived on a hippie commune and grew lots of dope and went to university. It was a wonderful time in my 30s. I absolutely had a ball. I was such a blessed life I've had. So if they give me an oxygen tank tomorrow and I keep over the next couple of days, I don't have any regrets because I've had such lovely experiences. Um, and I've left things behind. I remember this lady bought this painting off me. I was talking about looking at a picture of a couple of nudes, closing the picture and then painting it from my memory. Anyway, this woman bought that painting because I painted it on a pillow slip and called the painting Wet Dream. She loved it, loved the whole concept of, and I think she liked the nudes, to be honest. I think they fitted with her decor or something. So she paid $25, although it was to be paid at a later date. Anyway, after a few phone calls, we managed to get our $25, but I did have to pursue for that money, only because, like, that's the right thing to do. If you're an artist, you must. you must, pursue. Amy, look, you're part of that community too, darling. So, don't sell yourself short, love. You and your little puppy, the little Scotch Terrier, you're part of that community as well. You've contributed and been in these chats long enough. That far out, man. Don't. You're part of that community, and 5,000 butterflies, enough. My head is big enough. Thank you. Don't make it any larger. Please, I beg you. Your compliments are too much. They're so nice. I love them so much. I appreciate it so much that you get something out of this. And out of the 3 people who are on YouTube, out of the millions of people now watching YouTube, and you've decided to talk to an old fella with purple sunglasses talking about his art whilst getting pissed on Jack Daniels with a couple of motorcycles in the background. Mate, who cares about everything else? I appreciate, 5,000 butterflies. Thank you so much. I know you get what I'm saying, man. Yeah, they are truths. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. And I love that because I don't really know you, but you're so much my psychologist, able to let me talk, let me get through things like the lady, I'm faking it. And, man, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Why sugarcoat it? Not everybody's cup of tea, and I get that. But, oh man, thank you so much. Now, a lot of people who join me in my chats are drawn to the cannabis use. Yeah, drop mic. So you guys are more than welcome to fire up your cannabis. Just reading that comment, that's lovely. When I get a long War and Peace novel of a response, I just have to stop and read it because it's really cool. People have spent 5 minutes typing these long responses that, it's not. I'm not worried. I don't know about trolls anymore. Trolls are cool. Yeah. Looney Shrooms. He's probably working or he's doing something, but he's usually always here. And OC's probably doing something, staff meeting, I think, to raise money for disadvantaged bikers in Indiana. No, he's here. So he's hearing a lot. There you go, OC. How you doing, brother? Yeah, Jimmy's really lovely. They're, it's a good little community here, guys, and I do appreciate you all very much. Erin, lovely. No, neither am I, but, you know, who wants to be everybody's cup of tea? Trolls can stay pretty well alive, they don't hang around very long, trolls. Um, yeah, they don't get too much food here. Yeah. No, it's good. It's good that you're doing. I'm glad I talked about Thailand with my mum, actually. Um, I think she would absolutely love Asia, mum. I think she would love it to bits. They're such graceful people. Um, yeah, there's no food for trolls here. Oh, look, I get sick of the dirty jokes too, but sometimes they laugh. I'm sorry that it's usually at the exploitation of women, some of the jokes. Um, but, this, I get it. There's a place for comedy as well here on Dave's channel, and sometimes it's very funny. I've certainly had some gut-wrenching moments. Um, Yeah, man, I know. But I'm taking mum with us, Jeff. I'm taking mum. I can't go there by myself. I can't trust myself. All those beautiful mama sons, the real old ones. Oh, with their droopy babako tits. Love it. Oh. That's all I got to remember. That's what they are. With their babako tits that just hang down. Poor things. They've fed 20 kids, those poor tits. 20 kids. They've reared 20 kids. Jesus Christ. Oh, God, their 20s and 30s, they were always either, breastfeeding or pregnant or both, usually both. God. Yeah, I'd love to go to Thailand. I think it'd be great. But I got a few things to do. I reckon a lot of you should be here. We'd love it. OC. And you've just made it so much more a reality by getting to know you, man. Yeah, see you later, Jimmy. It's good that you came into the chat. Yeah, man. See ya. Oh, I'm no Diddy. How you going? G'day, Dandelion. Yes, Dandelion's a regular on Dave's channel. How you going? Good to see you again. We've thrown in boo. Yeah, I know, man. Look, I just know. So it's Bangkok, south of Bangkok. We're not in the city. It does sound idyllic. We can travel. We can do day trips. We can do, a few overnighters. I'd love to see your country. And I would love to take mum with me as well. I think it would be good for the both of us, because, if if it comes and I fall in love, she can only just bless it. What's better than a blessing from mum? Eh? And I'm sure the Thai women respect their elders. Because they're all going to know, they're all going to end up with babako fucking shaped breasts, mate. There's no getting out of that one. Nothing that there's anything wrong with it. I love it. Oh, I'm laughing my ass off too, mate. Don't worry. You can just imagine how they're down here because they fed 20 kids. Oh, for God's sake. I love it. Oh, no. Thailand would be absolutely amazing. And something that I must experience before I leave this earthly realm of existence, and on to the next thing that's going to be totally amazing as well. But I really want to see a little bit more of our planet, and I just want to be up in the sky for a little bit. I don't have to go all the way around the world. I just have to see the curvature of the earth. That's all I want to see, is a little bit of the curvature of the earth, and then I'm happy. I experienced the curvature of the earth as a 9-year-old kid flying back from London to Australia. Usually, and I saw the mountains there. They may well have been the Andes, but they were certainly, it's a memory that's never escaped me. $5,000, don't get me wrong. There's good and bad in everything. But the bits I've singled out, no, that's all good. You have provided the wonderfulest trip. Now, look, I'm sure that old Mac wants to meet my mum. So, the long lunch is starting to get, it's starting to get inventive. I really hope 25 we make it a reality. I really do. I know you've done it. There's some apprehension behind it, but let's be brave. And Jimmy is good value, man. So is 5,000 butterflies. She did tell me her name. It's evaded me, but that's okay. I like 1,000 butterflies. That's pretty cool, man. Oh man, Thailand. And then when Tony Mac mentioned about the gibbon monkeys, yes, of course, and they hoots the way they hoot. That to me is far more impressive than, walking up and down Pattaya pretending to be a German tourist. Bah, couldn't think of anything fucking worse. But hanging out, and I know Mum would love to see the Buddha sculptures, man. I think that's a real deal breaker. Up in Chiang Mai, the flight of the gibbons, yeah. So, there's things that we want to see, man. Things that David Attenborough has only shown us, and we've only seen from a small, television screen. But if we see it in real life, I think that will just screw our minds, man. And just make us appreciate this planet a little bit more before we go. I think it's important. Chiang Mai for the flight of the gibbons. There you go. I heard of Chiang Mai, I don't know where. But it mightn't have been. I don't think it was an apocalypse now. But you're getting my drift, man. Amit is back, everyone. Amit, I am well. Amit, I hope you are well. I can hardly breathe, Amit. But I have enough smoke and sequence to put on a show for you, Amit. I am the dancing Australian, Amit. There you go, that's wacky. Thanks for the few people that are here. I appreciate it. It hasn't been easy returning to lives. I had some terrible news today, but I also had some great news. I had terrible health news, but wonderful mechanic news. So it sort of evened out. It fucking evened out, man. I was happy that the mechanic said, man, you look after your bikes and it's easy to work on, Mind you, he hasn't seen the other Softail Slim, which I've been thrashing around Perth a bit, down to the Freo Wharf every Sunday. Sniffing. No, I'm not sniffing. Maybe I am. I don't know. Am I sniffing down at Freo? Perhaps I am. I'm just doing what I do, man. And it is bike and motorcycle related. Everything with me revolves around motorcycles. That's why it's a biker channel, you know. But it's not about, you know, being a heavy or being an enforcer or, you know, having law and codes. It's not what I'm about. Even the 1%ers have got to share the same wind I ride in. You know, they've got to ride the same road I ride. They've got to deal with the same caravan idiot that I've got to deal with. You know, there's things, you know, that we're all sort of similar. Anyway, 2 hours. I'll wrap it up now. One last person. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm sorry I got so boring in the end. Amy, the last lady in the chat, to you I toast. To you I bid farewell. And as soon as I want to go now, there's more people in the chat. So I'll hang around a little bit longer. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not, you know. I have no idea how to entertain tyres or a water check. Dr. Mechanic knows best. Exactly, Tony. The mechanic knows best, you know. You're doing all right, son. You can keep your bike up, you know, in good health. You not so much. But your bike's in good health. Oh, you gotta laugh, man. You fucking gotta laugh. I think it's funny anyway. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us and meeting my mum. For the people who've met mum, I'm glad she came on the channel. I encouraged her because we had a bit of a chat before, because I was telling her about, you know, what the doctor said. She said, I don't care if it's bad news. I don't care if it's good news. I just want news. And don't you ever not forget to ring me for news. So I had to put the glasses on and tell mum most sternly. Good night, everybody. Love you all. Good night, Tony. Good night, Amy. Good people. Absolutely gold, salt of the earth. See you guys.